Hello everybody, this is Rob, and what do we have for you today? Well, today we have for you is a little game that I would like to share with you that I've enjoyed playing over the past few sessions that I've ran it, and this little game is it's a bit of an odd duck. You can't really find it unless you know where to look. I knew where to look, and the name of it is called BrickOps, and it's a prototype. Air quotes game, because it's pretty good for a prototype. It's a bit clunky in some places, but otherwise it's not bad. And some of the rules are a little bit iffy here and there, and I have to use just maybe, I think, nuance to interpret the rules, but I think I'm playing correctly. At least I am now, at least the point counts that I have. I've not been using the point counts that you're supposed to, because I said, screw it, I'm trying to have fun here. But otherwise, what is BrickOps? BrickOps is a solo Lego game using minifigs and 6-sided dice based on Gunstorm rules by Space Tracker. Essentially, it is a solitaire wargaming wargame. Somebody decided to make a hack of those initial rules, and they found that they could hack it quite comfortably to their Lego collection, and they decided to share it with people, and that's what I found while I was looking for solitaire wargaming options, because I don't have people to play with. But anyway, besides that, how do we get started, and how do we play, and what does it look like to play? Well, let's just skip some of all that, and let's go ahead and at least try to get a turn in here, because this is going to be the next series, and what we have here on this battlefield in front of us is a bit of a storyline going on, and going on for at least the last 2 sessions that I've played this game. I believe I played this game 3 times, but I'm not entirely sure. I've at least played it 1 time correctly, given the point note. But other than that, I think I played an early game or 2, but I'm not exactly sure. That was a while ago when I found this. You can still find this. The guy is called Sean, I believe, and he did a solo con. And this is one of the games he played, and he came up with himself, or hacked, I suppose, by himself, and he played this game, and I found it because other people were playing this game, and I thought, well, I have a bunch of Lego, I can play this game, and I never did until now, I suppose. So, what is it, and what do we have here in front of us? Okay, so how do we get to this point? We get to this point by, first of all, we have to have a collection of Lego, which we already do, and then we need to have some 6-sided dice, which we already have here, and I like to, it doesn't say you have to, but I like to keep track of my own battle turns, which I don't have because I lose track of everything. I need to find a piece of paper. I will be right back. And this will be fun. Because I also have to keep track of turn order and who has gone when. So we'll just fold this into a little booklet. Right here, and we're going to go ahead and give it a bit of a title. And I only do this because I do this for me. And I call it Firefight. Or Firefights to begin with, because there's a role in the game called Firefight, and a lot of bad things can happen all at once. So, that is what I call it. And what do we do to get started? Well, to get started, the game gives us a set of rules. First, it tells us what we need. 3 to 6 minifigs per side. I'm stretching it here, but a little bit. But I'll explain that in a minute. we at least a d6. We need 2 cups with counters to them. While I was playing, I decided to throw that out, and I decided to use spinners instead because you'll see here, and hopefully in a minute or so, when I went to the um, what are we going to call this? When I went to the incapacitated spinner, you could almost feel the tension there, whether or not somebody made it or didn't and were removed from the field. So, first of all, we have our basics, we have our teams, and we have our terrain. And how did we come up with our teams? Well, the game gives us an army builder, and it gives us a set number of points. And for the first couple of games, I did not follow that, but for this game, I did follow that set of points, and I made up the armies, as it calls them, and I made it according to the rules that they give you, and this is what I came up with, and it does not have you do this, but I did it because I found it helpful. I put the armies on 2 different army list cards. Here we have the player's side, and then we have the enemy AI side. And this is everything that they have, and every minifigure that they have. So now that we've done that, we have our teams, we have our terrain, we have our armies and their equipment. And another thing the game does, it provides special bonus cards that you can play or add to and purchase with your army that you are purchasing while you are purchasing everything else with the points that it gives you. With this game, I did not have any points left over to purchase cards, so we're not going to use the cards for this game. So, how does the game run? Well, instead of going through a usual rule check, we're going to go ahead and start the game. And throughout the playthrough, hopefully we will be able to see each and every single phase. And afterwards, we're going to see what is going to happen next. Okay, so what is the setup and why are we having this engagement here? Well, to begin, let's go ahead and add the lore. So for the past 2 sessions, and in the first session of this particular series, I was looking around for some bricks to use, and I stumbled upon an old battleship that I created, and I tore it apart, and I used its pieces for something else that you may or may not get to see within this series. But in order to, I guess, commemorate that movie, I had it crash land, and it happened to crash land on the government home planet, and the government home planet is a smallish sort of republic empire thingy, and they're not technically bad guys, but they're sort of more benevolent because it's my room, and that's where I store all my collection, and so I've decided to give them that reputation. So what happened was but it still kind of falls within the corporate dystopia Star Wars-ish kind of thing, but more on the Republic light side sort of thing here, but not necessarily because I have a collection of multiple themes, not just Star Wars. So what I did was I kind of crash landed the battleship. The battleship is called the Grouse, and it was owned by a corporate mining company. There were no casualties because the safety precautions are just that good, but we had to send in a government recon team to rescue the survivors, and unfortunately for them, a droid mercenary company also heard of the crash, and they wanted to make off with the battleship's secrets that were contained therein. So, the droids sent their team, and the government had their team, and they both had their similar objectives. One of them was to rescue as many survivors as possible, which the government did, and they were also supposed to capture the battleship's black box. Unfortunately, they failed spectacularly. the casualty loss was high on the government team, and the enemy made off with the black box. So in the second session, we had to the ship crash landed in an abandoned sort of village in a rural area, and the next session they made off with it as they ran through settled wilderness. The second game was also equally terrible. The enemy team made off with the black box again, and there was only one survivor of the government recon team. So again, this is hopefully going to be the third and final session of this particular session series. If I lose again, I'll probably continue it somehow, but not in the near future. So, what do we have here? We have a rebuilt enemy recon team, and we have a rebuilt a government team. Let's not do that again. Okay, and we had to rebuild the government team because there was only one survivor, and it is our shell trooper. I guess that's what they're calling it now, or shellmet troopers is what they're calling the Republic troopers of that carry that set of gear, and the droid team's commander, which is this guy right here. So what I decided to do was actually follow the army building rules, and that is what I came up with. So, and everything is down here on the list. This is the government recon team, and this is the enemy droid team. So how does the game run? Well, the game gives you a couple of options. Movement is one of them. I decided to go one of for the infantry. We have a 4x4 plate, and one of for the enemy team. We're just going to go one of, which means one of itself, which is if this decided to move, it goes one and one like that. And enemy minifigures, of course, have their own set of movement rules. And of course, there is hard and soft terrain. I am going to have everything be heavy terrain, which reduces movement to at least one. Otherwise, they would have a wide variety of movement. But for this game, I'm reducing it all to one. So, as far as who goes first, the game tells you to load phase counters into cups and draw out from the different cups. And what you draw is what happens. I did not like that system, so I decided to use spinners instead, as I said earlier. So, how do we decide who goes first and gets this fight started? Well, first of all, you would draw a spinner and draw a counter, and whatever that counter was, that's the space you were going to go on. So, let's go ahead and spin our first spin, and if I roll on the spin that I've already done, I go ahead and just re-roll. I keep track. That's another reason why I try to keep track of what's happened, so I don't continuously re-roll, forgetting where I've gone. So let's go ahead and make our first spin to see exactly what happens. As far as objectives go, the recon team is to destroy the enemy force and recover the black box. Now, the black box has its own special rules. The black box, if it's being carried by an enemy unit, and that enemy unit is destroyed, the black box is also destroyed, and therefore the player loses. So we do not want to, at all costs, destroy any enemy unit that happens to have a black box. So, as you can see, we are in a civilian area, in a bit of an urban location. This is a small village, and the enemy team goal is to get to the other side of the village, over to this bar over here, and to upload the black box once they get there to their waiting enemy forces that are in orbit. And then if they accomplish that, then they win. The recon team simply needs to get the black box from away from the enemy team and get it to this corner over here, which is their disembark point, and once they do that or destroy the enemy force without destroying the black box, then they win. Okay. As for measurement goes, this is our measurement stick. I've decided that 1 stud equals 1 point of length. And this is the highest amount. This is for weapon ranges, and this is the farthest range that we have at 72 studs. And this is the shortest range at 8. So, we made our roll, and what do we do now? We